Welcome back to your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Hope you had a good weekend. Yankees salvage the series over the Dodgers Sunday night. They win 7-3. Again, Ryan Yarbrough absolutely nails 3-0, 2.83 ERA. We're going to get into his outing. He's just been a revelation, just been absolutely incredible. You're getting really good production from DJ LeMahieu, Dominguez. Rice obviously is a stud. He hit a bomb last night, a splitter off of Yamamoto, who they absolutely really handled well. Probably his worst outing of the year. And then also, I think the top four hitters of the Dodgers were 0 for 14 or 0 for 16. They just held them completely in check. Dodgers had 6 hits the entire game. Credit to Yarbrough and the bullpen. They gave up a couple runs late, but the game was pretty well in hand due to a really good start from Yarby. So kudos to them for coming back. They got absolutely embarrassed on Saturday, 18-2. It was just an absolute rout, which is not something you want to see. And you were thinking, like, yeah, this team is better than the Yankees and they can't compete. And then they come back on Sunday and shut them down. And really, it was Yarbrough who really flummoxed these Dodger hitters. You're looking at a guy who tops out at 87 miles an hour, and he's jamming Shohei Ohtani on 86 up and in, like very weak contact. Throwing it right past Freddie Freeman up and in at 86. Throwing 77-mile-an-hour changeups down and away to lefties, to Shohei. He'll throw it to lefties. He'll throw it to righties. His sweeper, 77-mile-an-hour down and away, getting Teoscar Hernandez a strikeout. Just really moving the ball around. Again, a pitcher like that you just don't see. You see 95 to 98 all the time. When you see a guy who has different arm angles and different speeds and slower, and slowest, and can spot and can throw sweepers, changeups to lefties and righties, it just keeps your hitters off balance. And credit Boone to doing a nice job bringing in, Yarbrough, and then bringing in a guy like Dominguez, changing it up. A lefty who doesn't have, elite stuff, and has a lot of movement and change of speeds. And then Loizago has absolutely electric stuff with two-seam fastballs. And I think Loizago will be fine. He got hit up a little bit just because he wasn't able to get his two-seamer inside enough. But credit to this team, resilient. A sweep would have been absolutely embarrassing and would have sort of solidified that the Dodgers are still a superior team. And I think Sunday night's game changed that. I really do. I think it's not just the way they hit; it's the way they pitched. And you're getting contributions from DJ LeMahieu. If you can get DJ LeMahieu from where he was a few years ago, maybe his days in Colorado or earlier in his career, this guy plays solid defense. He's not super athletic, but he's just a sound player who can put the bat on the ball. Last night, 4 for 5, 2 RBIs. His OPS is creeping higher and higher, but really, really good win and a really important win. So the Yankees are 36-22. They're still first in the AL East, and a really important win last night against the Dodgers for sure. So I want to talk a little bit about trade pieces at the deadline. So we know the Yankees definitely need a third baseman. So we've talked, at length about Arenado. There's been some talk about Otto Lopez from the Marlins, or Lenyn Sosa from the White Sox, or Rosario from the Nationals. I definitely think Arenado would be a really, really good fit. I did not expect the Cardinals to play this well. I don't think he did, frankly. And so I think that puts a little wrinkle in the Arenado trade. I don't think it's dead. Let's see how the Cardinals play in the month of June, and if they absolutely tank and fall farther and farther behind to the Cubs, he might be a viable trade piece. But I want to talk about the trade pieces for the Yankees and who they can afford to move. Stanton comes back, and we all know what Stanton did last year, and in the playoffs, he's a valuable piece, and he's coming back fully healthy. They've been sort of nursing him back to health. He could be a huge trade asset. You have Goldschmidt, you have Ben Rice, hit a 429-foot bomb off a splitter to dead center off of Yamamoto yesterday. I've been saying all year this kid's an absolute stud. He should be an everyday player. He can be your first baseman. Or if you want Goldschmidt to play first base, he can be your DH. Either way, he's a stud and easily can replace Giancarlo Stanton. But Giancarlo Stanton has immense power and has high trade value, and he's coming back fully healthy. So that is a guy that you could definitely move and use as a trade piece to get a third baseman or a right-handed hitter off the bench, someone else that perhaps makes a little bit more contact. Volpe is another guy. I know we all love Anthony Volpe. I think he's a mediocre player at best, but he's young, and a lot of people think he has a little bit more promise, and I actually think he does. And so I think he'd be a great trade piece. And then Devin Williams. Devin Williams' stuff has not diminished. His changeup is still elite. He still throws hard. I think it's just a question of mechanics, confidence, and a variety of other things that are sort of above the shoulders. Nothing physically wrong with him, and because of that, I think he's a great trade piece. He's healthy. He's fine. And if some other team's player development or coaching staff thinks they can get him right and get him back to Milwaukee, closer, setup man, shutdown form, I think it's a great trade piece for him, for the Yankees to use. So I think I would focus on those. Yankees recently, a couple other moves. They got Carlos Carrasco back from AAA Scranton. Moved De Los Santos down. And then other notable rumors is I know they're pursuing Alec Boehm for the third baseman for the Phillies. So, again, Williams, Volpe, Stanton, those are some viable trade pieces that they could afford to move because they have guys, like Cruz is going to come back, and Loaizaga, and some of these other guys, and Rice, and people that will be able to fill those holes. But leverage those viable trade pieces to get a third baseman, which you absolutely need to make a real run. So we'll see. Williams could be moved to the Phillies. Volpe possibly trade for Ozzie Albies. I think the Braves would be absolutely insane if they did that. So yeah, we'll see. And those other third base possibilities with Lopez, Sosa, Rosario, Boehm, but if it's me, I'm going for Arenado. It just sucks that the Cardinals are playing so well. Last thing I want to talk about is injury updates, just a little bit. So I don't know if we saw the game last night, but Dominguez goes in sliding to second base and jams and hurts his finger, but he's got that sliding pad, that oven mitt on the wrong hand. Should be on his inside hand, his left hand, and it was on his right hand. So they actually talked about that on the broadcast. That was absolutely asinine and made absolutely no sense on why that happened. So Dominguez has a thumb issue. Weaver has a hamstring issue. They're going to get reevaluated in New York, but just something to think about because we're moving pieces, and I just think you have to monitor these guys. I think it's June 1st or 2nd, so there's no reason to rush anyone back, but this is some stuff to think about and as we go along. But looking forward, Yankees, great game. Today's game, I believe, if memory serves, give me a second, people. It's a Monday. So yeah, they win last night, and I think a really important win again, because you get swept by that team. It's sort of a tacit admission, yeah, we still own you. We beat you in the regular season, and we're beating you again. So tonight today they have an off day, and then on Tuesday they play Cleveland, and they have a 3-game set with them. So that should be really good. Cleveland is a really good team, and then Boston, which is going to be super fun, super intense this weekend. So we can't wait for that. That's been your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Join me tomorrow to recap any more breaking Yankees news. and we'll have that here for you. Take care. Have a good day.